Welcome to The Explainer. So, today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to deconstruct a single sentence. Now, I know it might not look like much, but trust me, it tells this surprisingly huge story about modern travel, media, and, the images we're all chasing.
Okay, so let's get into it. This sentence, it reads like a prompt you'd feed an AI image generator, right? But it's so much more than that. It perfectly describes a photo you've probably seen, dozens of times scrolling through your social media feeds. So what is the real story behind this very specific image? Right, because this isn't just a simple description of a photo. Think of it more like a cultural recipe with these really specific, carefully chosen ingredients. It tells us not just what to see, but how to see it, and even how to perform for the camera once we get there. So let's break it down, piece by piece. All right, first up, let's talk about the stage for this whole scene, the location itself. The description doesn't just say a desert, does it? No, it specifically calls out Monument Valley. And believe me, there's a very good reason for that. Yeah, long before this place was an Instagram hotspot, it was the quintessential cinematic vista. It was one of those landscapes that just felt, pre-framed for the camera. It basically shaped our collective idea of what the American West is supposed to look like. And you can really see how the meaning of this place has been built up in layers, all by the media, for almost a century now. It kicked off with John Ford, who basically defined it as this rugged frontier. And now it's become a backdrop for our own personal little movies, all shot on our phones. But here's the thing. Out of all this epic, sweeping scenery, why this specific stretch of road? The prompt is so specific. It's not just any view of those iconic buttes. It's the long, straight road. And that, my friends, brings us to our next key ingredient, a pivotal moment in 90s pop culture that totally redefined this spot. Yeah, this is where it gets even more specific. See, the location isn't just a road in Monument Valley. It actually has a name. And that name, it comes directly from a movie. Yep, Forrest Gump Point. Our original prompt explicitly calls it out by name. The spot was, of course, immortalized in the 1994 film Forrest Gump, where the main character famously, finally, ends his epic cross-country run. And this just brilliantly illustrates the power of a single movie moment. Think about it. This one line, delivered on this specific stretch of asphalt, turned a simple road into a destination, a pilgrimage site, really. It gave the location a brand new story. And this is the big shift, right? What was the end of a fictional character's 3-year run became the start of a journey, a must-have photo op for tons of real-life travelers. Everybody wants to stand in that exact same spot, framed in the exact same way. Okay, so we've got the historic stage and the pop culture landmark. Now let's look at our main character, the person standing right in the middle of that road. So the prompt describes this very specific archetype, doesn't it? Every single detail here is curated to tell a story of modern, stylish, maybe slightly whimsical adventure. The messy bun that says, "I'm spontaneous." The bright yellow backpack, that's chosen for how well it's going to pop in the photo against the red rock. It's a total performance. And get this, the technical quality of the shot is just as important as the location itself. The goal isn't just to, capture a memory. It's to create a perfect, high-resolution replica of an ideal that already exists out there. The image has to look professional, polished, even if it's just for a quick social media post. And this really gets to the heart of the whole change. The original cinematic version of Monument Valley, that told an epic, theatrical story for a mass audience in a movie theater. But today, the modern vlog shot uses that exact same stage to tell a personal, performative story for a social network. The goal has completely shifted from originality to, replicability. So what happens when you stack all of these layers together? You've got the Hollywood history, you've got the Forrest Gump moment, and you've got the modern social media adventure. What do you get? Well, you get this absolutely fascinating evolution. We've gone from simply experiencing a place to experiencing a place through the lens of a movie, to where we are now, where the main goal is often just to reenact the images of that place we've already seen 1,000 times online. And that's when the ultimate goal shifts. It becomes less about the feeling of being in this vast historic landscape and more about proving you were there by capturing that perfect, predefined image. The photo, it becomes the destination itself. And that's really the final question we want to leave you with. When a place becomes a picture, what happens to the experience? What does it mean for our relationship with travel, and maybe with reality itself, when we're all just chasing the same perfect shot? What happens when the map to our adventures just becomes a checklist of photos to replicate? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us.